Hey, it's Norm from Tested here, still at Sideshow for Sideshow Con. Paul, you guys have been running all week, just showcasing different products that you guys have worked on, your partners have worked on, and we talked about some of the figures and statues that Sideshow's developed, and like a flagship partner like Hot Toys. Of course. But I want to put a spotlight on some of maybe the lesser known, at least maybe in the casual community, collectors of manufacturing. And this is a stand of figures from ThreeZero.
Yes, almost like a shrine to ThreeZero. They're so great. I mean, we can start right here with a pretty familiar face.
Yeah, they have a Game of Thrones license.
Yes, Sir Jorah Mormont here. This is specifically from season 8. And if there's one thing I think that the folks over at ThreeZero do is they really take on that challenge. Like, I mean, Game of Thrones had an award-winning costume team.
Yep.
So they are tasked with bringing that to the 6-scale format, and they absolutely nailed it. I mean, specifically with the likeliness, we've got to Ian Glenn. We've got him holding a Heartsbane, which is the sword that he's got there. I mean, it is incredible. I love this piece so much. And one of the things that we will take note of is ThreeZero has this really fun way of, I think, doing armor that I feel is like a signature for them. And then we'll see in one of our pieces up here. But before we go that, maybe someone that would not be a fan of Heartsbane here would be the Demogorgon from Stranger Things. Wow. Such an impressive piece, I feel. And now this actually comes with 2 head sculpts.
Okay.
So this will come with the closed head sculpt and, of course, the dentist's nightmare head sculpt, as I call it.
Oh my gosh.
This is absolutely beautiful and horrifying. I mean, that's one of the greatest, I think, compliments you could probably give them. You're like, it's horrifying. It's so...
I'm getting goosebumps looking at the teeth, right? Because his character mostly hidden in shadow, kind of Jaws-like. It's foreboding, but like to have it here
in person in 6-scale format, it's got like that insane gloss on it that just brings so much realness. And again, just the various textures that ThreeZero has put, again, from, we've got, I guess what we'll call it the face, to, his legs, and just, I mean, they've absolutely crushed it.
I can notice, the joint work is really well, because it's posable, right?
Yes.
This is 6-scale.
6-scale, completely posable.
And you're gonna have him, crawling, menacing, terrorizing, shrieking.
Yeah.
And it's from the horror universe.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And they take that also to
our original IP. This is from the Court of the Dead,
of course,
that we have really fostered and we absolutely love, from the mind of Tom Gilliland. Now we've got up here, we've got Demothiel, who essentially he's called the Reaper General. Now you can go to courtofthedead.com if you want to know everything about these 2 characters here, but specifically when talking about the armor that we see here, again, they've got this way of just placing armor that feels so natural. Specifically when you look at like the chainmail here, you can just feel the natural textures. Like this looks like metal, that looks like chainmail, and that carries over to what you see with Jorah as well. So that's what I was sort of mentioning, that there's so much texture, there was so much realness brought to this. And of course, Tom entrusted them with bringing this to life. I mean, there's a ton of great pieces on here.
That's so creepy. I'm noticing like the little arm right there. You're right about the chainmail. When I think of characters that are shrunken down to 6-scale, chainmail is a tough thing to do. Sometimes maybe fabric with a screen print.
Yeah.
Here I can actually see through the tiny holes, and it looks like mail.
Yeah. I mean, and of course, not to mention the terrifying head sculpt we've got with all of the various cut and sews. I mean, it's not just the same fabric in different places. You can tell that it's various lengths, various widths of fabric and density of parts of these fabrics. We've of course got the terrifying, like boots or gauntlets, I guess they would be. I mean, it's a beautiful piece. And then sort of moving down, very similar to my favorite character in the Court of the Dead. This is Malavestros, who is sort of your guide and narrator through the entire Court of the Dead. He's sort of a jester. Court of the Dead is broken up into 3 factions. You've got Bone, Spirit, and Flesh. He doesn't belong to any of them. He's sort of a rogue. And he's this creepy, terrifying court jester. You see the skulls.
Skulls everywhere. I mean,
loves them.
There. Wow.
Yeah. Absolutely beautiful. And again, just another showcase of, the mixed media. You've got, of course, this is completely sculpted up here, but then right next to it, you've got the cut and sew that we have been mentioning with ThreeZero. I mean, they crushed it. I love this piece so much.
And to be a manufacturer in today's day and age, working at 6-scale, they have to have expertise in likenesses, the likeness sculpt, in, of course, the posability of the body form, and the materials for an organic character like this. I know they announced, Power Ranger line. That looks incredible. Again, trying to recreate how we imagine and how we perceive our Power Rangers when we watched it when we were younger.
Yeah.
But at 6th scale. At the same time, they also have the Transformers line.
Oh,
right?
right, which is a whole different beast. Pun intended there. It's a whole different beast there. And we've got, I mean, it's wonderful because it's a different type of material they're working with. So it's not as easy as, maybe creating the same body type that you've got with Jorah or Malavestros here. It's working with that die cast, which they have absolutely done a rock solid job with.
I mean, I'll let you know, if you're looking for Transformers that feel hefty, that feel, and that have the detail like you see in the Bumblebee movie,
of course.
They did those characters so right. The Bumblebee, the Optimus, even the characters, just not prologue from Bumblebee, like the Decepticons and the Autobots there, right, in different colorways, like they become those DLX scale figures, as they call them, a real nice way to get into this style of figure. But there's one more that I saw from the ThreeZero lineup that I want to take a look at that you have over there. Can we take a look at that?
Yeah.
That Hulkbuster?
Let's go.
Okay, this has got my attention and the attention of a lot of the fans out there. This is one 12th scale Iron Man Mark 43 as seen in Age of Ultron, and of course, the Mark 44 Hulkbuster.
Oh, yeah, this is a wonderful, wonderful piece. And again, you can, of course, get them separately, but I would obviously recommend getting them together because
fits inside?
He does fit inside. He does. And he's got, I mean, it's got a crazy amount of articulation that you would expect from a posable figure like this. I mean, over 40 points of articulation on the Hulkbuster alone. So
that's the thing, like the Hulkbuster, it was a unique design. They never made a physical one, obviously.
Right.
The movie, it's CG, but it's when you want to both translate the physical form of this and then also still have things like lights, but also electronics and posability. Posability and Hulkbuster don't usually go hand in hand.
They do not, no, because I mean it's such a hulking piece, and it's huge, and it's the purpose in world is to combat the Incredible Hulk, but when you make it practically, it's got a lot of pieces, and honestly, ThreeZero bringing this to 1/12 scale had a huge task in front of them, and they definitely stepped up to the plate, I think, with this because it looks so good, and being able to have something that has over 40 points of articulation is incredible, specifically with the lighting. And again, if you don't have the room for maybe some of the 6 scale ones that are huge, this is great.
You're still gonna have fun posing it, photographing it, doing your diorama, your scenes. They took on the challenge of doing this. They also took on the challenge, I know, of doing from a Transformers film, Optimus combined with the Blackbird, the Jetfire at the end.
Oh yeah, yeah. We are. I mean, maybe stay tuned. We may have that in Sideshow Con. We can't give any spoilers away just yet. We've got a long, long week ahead of us. But we are, I mean, if it is any indication of what this is and what they have done and what we've seen, it's going to be incredible.
Oh, that's an unbelievable, breathtaking thing I've seen on the post on Instagram. So what are the other kind of partners and other products that you are excited about that you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, I mean, I personally am a huge fan of our friends over at Kotobukiya, Iron Studios, Blitzway, just again, folks who make incredible statues, again, that are at a size that I think is appropriate for like my work desk, because while I do have some statues and I have some 6 scales, I don't have a ton of room for them, and they do a great job of bringing some of these licenses. Like we will see some stuff from Black Widow coming up, and they did an incredible job of making dynamic action poses that you would expect to come right off the screen. So, I mean, that's just some of the many, many partners that we have that we're going to showcase during Sideshow Con, and we're really, really excited for everyone to see it.
That's why it's great to be a fan. Like licenses are getting picked up. It's not just Marvel, DC. You got Transformers, you got Ninja Turtles, you got different scales: 1/12, 1/10, 1/6. 1/4 scale.
1/4 scale.
Yeah, and even the big pieces, if you have the space for it.
If you've got them, yeah. I mean, it's wonderful, and we're so excited to be able to sort of bring that con feeling back for everyone who I know has been missing it.
All right. Well, as you're watching this, Sideshow Con is underway, but as we're recording, you guys are just getting ready. So good luck this week, Paul.
Thank you so much.
Sideshow Con. Thanks so much for inviting us.
Of course, anytime.
And we'll see you at the next con.
Alrighty.